All right, we are absolutely honored to have two guest speakers here. They are students from I'm in the alumni, UW La Crosse.
Yep.
You know, about 100 years ago, I graduated from there. These two people are going to be doctors of physical therapy in about a year. This is an absolutely wonderful thing for old therapists like me to get fresh, new information from the research that has just come out. And what's the video going to be about, Kyle?
Yeah, thanks. Today we're going to be looking at shoulder impingement, talking about what it is, looking at the anatomy, and what we can do for it.
Yeah, and really finding out that maybe it's not actually the impingement at all. Maybe it's just muscle imbalance.
One way or another, we're going to show you exercises and techniques to get rid of it. And I'm sorry, it's Kyle and Lisbeth.
Yes.
Very good. If you want to go with your whole name, that's up to you, because this is going out to the whole world, you know.
Well, that's pretty dangerous, but I'm Kyle Terhark.
And I'm Lisbeth Peets.
Very good. We'll be right back and show you everything you need to know. All right, Kyle, can you give a little demonstration on the mechanics of this shoulder
Yes.
pain?
So we're going to look at Sam here. We're looking inside his shoulder. And so what we're looking at with impingement, of what people think of impingement, is there's something actually blocking. So as this comes up, the bone actually jams in there,
Ouch.
gets blocked from going up overhead.
What's your finger doing in there?
So this shouldn't be there, right? That's just an impingement. But this is the idea that there's something in there, and
Yeah.
quite honestly, there's not anything in there.
So
There's something else going on.
There's actually some soft tissue in there, maybe a tendon that's getting pinched, and it causes the pain.
Right, that's the idea.
Right.
But more research is saying that's not actually what's going
So
on.
I want to bust that myth for you guys. So if you can try this at home, if you have that shoulder pain that really hurts when you get about here and it's like, if you try and move your arm up here and that's where that pain is, try and take your arm and go like this. Put it next to your body and raise it up. If you're able to get your shoulder up higher than you were out here, then what that's saying is the bones are going through the same thing in both positions, but the weight of your arm is heavier out here than in here. So what that tells me is it might be a bit more of a muscle imbalance.
So we can show them how to correct that.
Exactly, yes,
There we
we
go.
can, and that's
Right.
what we're going to do today.
Say no more. Hold on. All right, so this is really exciting to me because this recent research shows that people oftentimes may not need surgery on their shoulder. And I'll just give it to these experts because they have read the research in detail.
Yeah, so there's some new research coming out that's pretty interesting, and I'll put it right here. There it is. And so it's basically a study where they looked at people that had the surgery and people that had a fake surgery. And they looked at the difference between them, and there was very little outcome.
So what do you mean a fake surgery?
So a fake surgery. So if we can pull your shoulder up here. So Lisbeth's
little
going to draw
shy.
essentially the scopes. So the scopes are just little holes they put in to basically put a camera in or to put an instrument in to try and work on either cutting, cleaning, whatever they do. So they put these little holes in there. And so the fake surgery, what they did is they put these holes in, and then they didn't do anything. They just came right out. They bandaged it up and put them down the road.
And they sent the people home, and they didn't know if they had the surgery or not.
But they did have the scars.
But they did have the scars.
Yep, they did have the scars, and we found that down the road, the people that didn't have the surgery actually were doing better than those with it. You know, it was just kind of one of those, that's gym class for you situations.
So it's a placebo A-B type
Right,
of...
exactly.
Right.
Yep. So some people got surgery, some didn't, and those that didn't actually did better.
Well, that is amazing to me.
Yeah.
So anyways, let's go on and show you some exercises and some more information on how to improve your shoulder. I'm feeling better already.
Yeah, that's just the ink. That's all it does it. All right, so this is going to be a stretch for the pectoralis minor, and that muscle is a very deep muscle on your chest, so it actually sits all the way against your rib cage and attaches up to your arm. So a way that we're going to stretch it is if you have a nice home, you got a wall, we're going to put your arm up on that wall,
Okay.
and then you're going to go ahead and either step forward
All right.
to kind of stretch the arm back from here or rotate your chest away. So think about turning away from the wall.
And Kyle, does it matter which leg I step forward with?
It doesn't make a huge difference, but the one towards
Okay.
the wall would be better because
Okay.
it's going to help get your whole body forward.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I feel that.
Yeah,
Right in here.
perfect. And then once you flip around, do it on the other
Okay.
side as well. Good. So
Stepping
you're here,
through.
you step through it, and then you can rotate your body away to add more tension through that muscle.
And for students, what does the research say? Hold it for 30 seconds, go on and off. How long should this be
You can
stretched?
go ahead.
Yeah, usually I'll do it really what you're comfortable with. So all of this is based on where you're feeling those benefits and you're feeling that comfort. Usually I start with 30 seconds on each side and go back and forth like twice.
So listen to your body.
Listen to your
Right.
body.
It should not create any sharp pain. If there's that's a red flag, stop it. A nice, comfortable stretch. Let's go to the next exercise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Kyle. So I want to show you a good stretch that you can do in the morning or in the evening to really just get some more motion going there in that shoulder. And it's called a sleeper stretch. So what you're going to do is you're going to lay on the side of your painful shoulder here, and then you're going to take this hand and you're going to move the palm towards the table. Yep, and then you can use your other hand and add a little bit more pressure here. Just like with that last exercise, you're staying within what is comfortable for you. So don't push it down too hard. Stay at where you feel that nice little stretch and hang out there for a little bit. And then you can come off and just take a little break and move that shoulder around and go into it again.
So the elbow, I'm sorry to interrupt, but the
No.
elbow, we want it here or out in front?
You want it out in front. So
Okay.
you want this to be like a right angle with your body. Arms straight away from you as far as it can go.
What if it's his left arm? Still a right angle?
Still a right angle.
I had to get something in there.
All right, so here's another alternative you can do to those sustained stretches, and that's using a tennis ball or a lacrosse ball. We're going to use a tennis ball here. It's got a nice little squish to it, so it's not very painful. And so the way this is going to work is you're just going to put that tennis ball right where the muscle is, good, right on that pec minor, and then using that fancy wall again, you're just going to go ahead and put your chest between or against the wall there and just press into that ball. And I want you to think about doing little circles or go up and down along that muscle. When you
Ooh.
find a spot that's pretty tender, just stop on that spot. And
I
do-
found it.
You
I
found
found
one?
it, Kai. Yeah, right there.
Perfect.
Ooh.
So stop on that spot and do small little circles about the size of a dime right on that spot.
For how long?
So that one, again, it's going to be a comfort thing, but, about 30 seconds is
Sure.
great. So this is just an alternative to stretching.
I'm comfortably done.
Good. Yeah, you felt a good spot there. And you can do the same
Yeah.
thing right on the backside, too. So just like that sleeper stretch where we were working, so you can just put it between the wall and there.
Let's show them. Okay, so take your tennis ball, take your sock off, put the tennis ball in your sock like that, okay? Now you see I've got matching socks and shirt. You do not have to have matching. But anyways, take the ball and we're gonna put it back here so it's much easier if you just have the ball, if you, it's hard to get it in there without dropping it. So it's a good way to control. There. And right on the back side of the shoulder, how is that?
Yep, that's perfect. And so you're doing the exact same thing as you were on that front side of just
Yep.
looking for a tender spot. Find it, stay on it, and do those little circles.
So, and actually, I'm going to actually go in right by my spine. I don't know if it
Yep.
needs it for the shoulder, but it sure feels good.
Well,
and I
you've
got
actually got muscles that connect to your shoulder that go all the way over to your spine. So it makes sense that working on your spine would help here too.
right.
Right.
Why don't you point out exactly where we're not
Right,
exactly?
so we're working right here. You basically take the shoulder, go up a little bit, and right on the back. That's where we're aiming for. But feel free, go all the way along the shoulder blade, go right along the spine. There's a lot of muscles that can get real tender here. So hit all of those. It's not going to hurt anything.
All right, let's go to the next one.
All right, so one more muscle that we're going to be looking at stretching here is called the serratus anterior. Now, it's a fancy muscle. It's actually one of the coolest looking muscles in the body, but it grabs on from the shoulder blade and wraps around onto your ribs, just like
Yeah.
kind of a spider web or fingers coming around. And so a way that we can think about strengthening this one is it's called a wall push-up. And you're just going to get into 90-90 in front on the wall. So you got that nice angle. We're not getting the shoulders coming up very high when you do this. We're going to keep them down nice and low. And then think about pressing elbows and forearms through the wall and think about getting your back as far away from the wall as possible. So you're really going to be rounding your shoulder blades around.
Right, so this is a subtle movement, and if we look at the shoulder blade of the scapula, it's actually going to slide on that rib cage and work those subtle muscles in here that you really don't see. Do you feel them working?
Oh
Elizabeth?
yeah, I feel them.
Yeah, it's one of those exercises that doesn't look like much, but you will feel it work, and it's very important to keep that shoulder blade stabilized.
Exactly.
All right, Kyle, so for that strengthening exercise for those small muscles around your shoulder, I'm going to have you put this towel underneath your elbow and wedge it between your body and your arm.
Got it.
And then you're going to grab onto that band there. Yep, and then you're going to pull that hand away from your side, taking care to make sure that that towel isn't slipping or falling down to the floor.
Sure, because if I let that elbow out and it drops, that
Yep.
lets me know that I've flared that shoulder
Yeah, and
out.
that's telling me that you're using the wrong muscles.
Yep.
All right, so for this next one, this is just a progression of that exercise we just looked at. And for this one, you're going to take something and you're going to use it to support your arm so that it is straight out from your side. So you could be sitting next to a table, a pile of pillows underneath your arm, and that'll elevate it up. And then this time, you're going to be bringing that wrist up again like you were bringing it out last time, but now it's going to be raising up as if you're going to be bringing your arm back to throw a ball.
And that
Yep.
one's a lot harder.
This one is a lot harder, so you want to make sure you're good at the one on your side first before you try and go up here. Or maybe use a little bit easier of a band.
How many reps did you say?
So for both of those, you're going to want to do 8 of them 3 times. So 3 sets of 8.
All right, man. I'd really like to say thank you for coming, for showing these excellent exercises and great research. So you got the whole thing to yourself. Say goodbye or say hi to anybody you want.
Well, thanks for having us. This was so much fun. And yeah, this was really cool. And hi, Mom. How are you?
Yeah, I mean, always love talking about the new research and the stuff that's out there. So thank you so much, Brad, for having us.
Absolutely. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll do one more video, huh?
Oh yeah,
why
let's
not?
do it.